Okay, so I've been working on the sprinkler system, and it's got a lot of these like 45-foot rotating sprinkler heads, and like they're like $10 a piece, and a lot of them either don't rotate or they don't retract when the pressure goes off, or you can't readjust like the rotating angle. It feels like something broke inside. And I tried disassembling one, and like what I found is that they're pretty much like put together and glued together to never be taken apart. Like they heat it up and then they put the plastic together, so ideally I guess it's so no contaminants can get in, but you also can't fix it or repair it, which, I mean, why would you really want to do it? But they are $10 a piece, and so when you got to buy a lot of them, it's kind of annoying. And I was looking up like videos to see what other people did to like try to get these to work again and whatnot, and if you could take them apart, and you really can't. So I got a Dremel, and I was gonna like dissect one to kind of show you all what it looks like inside, and maybe we'll figure out some failure modes too, because I probably replaced, I don't know, maybe like 30 of these. The system hadn't been used in a while, so that's probably part of the reason why I had to do so many, but nonetheless, very interesting. Alright, some of this other stuff. And so basically these are all kind of the same. I actually had to whack this one off with a wrench to get the top to kind of come off. But once you do, this thing kind of pulls out like that, and this is just pretty much a plastic shell. Nothing very exciting about it. Some mud in there. But like when they get stuck up, I watched a guy and he put like Vaseline on the outside of this. I don't know where I saw his video or what his name is, but that helped, because you see like this spring right now, it's stuck down there. So basically when this thing gets stuck in the upright position, that's what's happening, is that this seal isn't retracting and pushing it back up. So it's supposed to be that when there's no pressure, it comes up like that. But if this thing gets stuck, like that, maybe? Yeah, like that. Alright, that's your issue there. So you can put Vaseline on the outside of it to fix that, but like as far as being able to make them rotate again, I have not figured that one out. Alright, so this thing is the filter that basically all the water has to go through. Like a lot of systems you can be pulling out of a lake or something. If you get rocks in there or whatnot, you don't want it getting stuck in the nozzle or in the turbine or anything that happens in here, so this thing will catch it. And the holes are pretty big, but if you have poor water flow, that might be something to check out. And also, like when I just try to pull them out like through the center, it's pretty difficult. So I just use a flathead screwdriver and pull it up, and you can see this ball in there depresses, but I'll hack it up. Alright, so I basically just cut the bottom part off to relieve the tension from the spring, so we can remove that. And then it had this plastic ring on at the bottom, if you remember. And something that I noticed when I was taking it apart is that it's got like saw teeth on there, so it meshes up and doesn't spin. And it also, this thing is ribbed, so I wonder if, can we see down in there? I don't know. I wonder if that's to keep it from spinning within this thing. Well, I can't see right now, but we'll keep going at it. But yeah, so the water comes up through the center into here. This is all one piece. This is closed off, and then it comes out through this hole right here with the fins. And this silver shaft is solely for adjusting the angle of the sprayer when it stops and when it starts, and the water does not come up past this thing. So this thing is the top inside the housing. This is a gear. We'll get to that part now. Alright, so once again, I'm impressed. This little thing that fits right down in here, this is the final shaft after the gear reduction, or the final gear after the reduction that goes into the degree adjusting mechanism. And they even put a little O-ring on there where it goes through to seal the water. Okay, so now do you recall this part is connected to the rotational motion of the head. All right, this is the sealed part. So below this, I guess there's water. Above it there's not. And there actually was 2 O-rings on here, and this thing went on here like this, and this is all, of course, glued into the housing. And this spun with the head. All right, so that's one spinner thing. All right, and then if you look on the inside of here, you can see that this has very, look, like if you got a little tiny piece of sand in there, this can screw this thing up. That's why it's so impressive to me that these actually work. You just look at how fine those teeth are, and then know how much sand and I shouldn't curse, sand and stuff is in your yard. And you think just one little tiny piece of dirt get in there and it's screwed. And so this floppy do thing, I'm pretty sure is what changes direction, because when I, if I stick this thing in here and we can spin it one way, but not the other. All right, well there we go. That's something. All right, so I think that changes the direction. Now, how does that steel shaft? Yes, so when this thing flips, that's the directional change. All right, so this gear is either the forward or reverse gear, and like I said, so when this thing flips, one of these gears comes into contact, and then the other one comes out of contact. So this one will be in contact now, this one won't, and then when you flip it, this one will be in contact, this one won't. And it's got 2 springs in here, and this is somehow controlled by when you set that shaft. So that's our next problem, is figuring out how that worked. Alright, so I don't immediately see how that system worked, but I got another one that I can take apart and maybe pay a little bit more close attention, because this is pretty difficult to get apart. But we can clearly see that, I'm guessing this gear right here is where the power comes from, and then it spins both of these gears, and the torque is transmitted through either one depending on whether you're in forward or reverse. Something that I do find interesting, I guess they have to have 2 gears here to change it, the angular direction, to change the angular direction. So this is probably forward, and it comes here, and then this one would be in forward too, but we go through another one, so it's in reverse. And that's obviously how that works. Alright, so I just took it out, and you can clearly see that this is this gear, and then that's what was going on with these two. So just to prove my point, if you say this one was spinning this way, so can I do it? Yeah, so see, so that's going that direction, and then when you spin it like this, it's going the opposite direction. Oh wait, so if it's spinning this way, that means this one would be spinning this way. Right? So does that go in the opposite direction? Hopefully you can pay more attention to this. If this is going this way, that means this one should be going this way, and that is going in the opposite direction. Alright, there we go. Point proved. Alright, so here from the bottom, as you'll remember, the little white ball I showed you. Alright, it's got the spring thing in here. This is from me just cutting it. Oh, you can't see it. It's got the spring thing here, and this pushes up, and then the water can come in. Obviously, I'm sure you could figure that out. And then it goes and it spins this little directional hydro turbine, alright? And so as the water comes up through it, it should spin. Let's see, what kind of clearance are we dealing with there? Wow, so it's actually, okay, so I guess when this thing pushes down, once again, out of frame, alright, when this thing pushes down, the water's going to go in there like that, and so we're going to get the water coming in through here, and about like that, and so somehow this thing spins. Don't ask me the particulars. Don't ask me the particulars. Alright, and so... Whoa. Dude. That's pretty impressive. Does it spin this thing? What kind of gear reduction do you think this thing has? Do you see this thing spinning? Is that little speck on there moving? Getting in focus. Is that little speck moving? Oh my gosh. Look at the gear reduction inside this thing. This thing's got to be spinning at like a bajillion RPM then. That is crazy. Because this gear is even smaller than the other one. And this thing's huge. So, I mean, you just think you got a pinion spinning another gear, and then you got one spinning this thing, alright? And so this reduction, I mean, from this thing spinning to the final motion of where the water comes out, it has to be just a huge reduction. Alright, so obviously that's what this is going to be, is just one gearbox. Once again, we have a very small stainless steel shaft. Alright, and I think we are beginning to see, yes, I would assume that is why this thing failed. Because there was not this much crap in here before I took this thing out of the ground. Or there was this much crap in here before when I took this thing out of the ground. Because there's no way all this crap could have gotten in there just from me cutting away at it. Alright, well, that about does it for me. Well, maybe there was, because the other side of this gear seems to be pretty clean. So I'm pretty sure I was right about that one thing with the springs switching the direction, but I don't know if I was right about these fins causing it, because as you can see, that is obviously where that flathead stainless steel screwdriver type thing looking inserts, and so it just rotates that thing, and somehow that's got something to do with it. I don't know, too many little plastic parts for me to figure out, but there you go. That's why you don't repair these. And here's one of them undestroyed 4 trillion-to-1 gear ratio things. So I'm not turning that at all. It's really hard to turn too. Oh. Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'll try to post some other interesting stuff if it comes up. Thank you, and have a great day.